What is up, everybody? Jarrett from Empire of Assets here. We are going to be talking about the top 7 Metazoo products. So I am going to be giving you my list of the top investable, rare, most expensive products. Before we start, I do want to give a couple of thank yous. One of them to Andy Monty from the Discord. He did a lot of the number crunching. And then also a shout out to the Tailgate Podcast, who allowed me to use their Wendigo picture of the sample card. Thank you for that. So the first product, jumping right in, is going to be the reverse holographic. Any reverse holographic card is going to be limited to about 1,259 printed. These cards are doing very well in the secondary market. Obviously, the rares or the ones with the gold medal are going to be the most expensive because they are the most desirable characters. And then you're going to have the silver and the bronze lower than that. One special card I do want to point out is a common card. It is the Tripodario, which is only printed in reverse holographic, and it's not supposed to be. It was supposed to have a regular non-holo printing, but the Earthquake card actually was printed in its place. So there is going to be silver Earthquake cards and bronze Earthquake cards. So Earthquake is actually the most common card because there's about 15,000 of them when there should have only been about 7,000 of them. A little bit of a fun fact. But the Tripodario is technically like an error card. It was only printed in reverse holographic, which means there is only 1,259 of those, which makes it a exclusive card. Very hard if you're trying to build a set, as it is tough to get your hands on one of those. So they are demanding a premium in the market. Just something to look out for if you do get your hands on one of those. So our first product was reverse holographics. Moving into the next product, we are going to have a couple of different promos. I will put them all up on the screen so you guys can see them. The first one is going to be the Kickstarter promo. There was, I believe, 288 Kickstarter backers. That was how Metazoo was funded originally. It was a fundraiser on Kickstarter. They made promos for these people. They are really neat. I really would like to get my hands on one of these someday, but they are very expensive. And there is 1,000 of those produced, even though there was 288 backers. They did make a print run of 1,000. And those, all prices in this video obviously could change. The market is fluctuating wildly, so I'll just kind of give some rough prices that I know of right now. I do know some Kickstarter promos sold for 100, but those sold out instantly and they were way underpriced. I would say the going rate is going to be around 300 for those. The next promo I want to talk about is the Cryptid Nation promo. I do have one of these. It came in my spell book. They are in all spell books, which is going to limit the production to 1,000 because there was only 1,000 spell books made, and this card is only found in the spell books. This is a really neat card. I believe it is playable in the game, unlike some other promo cards, which adds a little bit of extra value there. And this too is, all of these promo cards are going to be right around that range. So that is going to be our next product. And then the final one rounding out that is going to be the New Year's Eve card. This is neat with a little elf in between two champagne glasses. There was also 1,000 of these made, so that is going to be the last 1,000 print run product, and that is going to be right around that $300 range as well. So then moving into our next product, it is just going to be a pretty general category of all first edition Kickstarter holographic cards. Obviously, these are the most desirable cards in the set. Only rares are made as holographics, and just like Pokemon, they are by far the rarest cards. They only fall 1 out of every 3 packs. And a couple of cards I want to highlight out of these in particular, which are going to be your most collectible or investable ones going forward, are going to be Mothman, any of the pack art cards. So you have Mothman, Babe the Blue Ox, the Pisa Bird, as well as the Hodag, I believe, are all going to be very desirable, along with the Loveland Frog, which is a card people really like, and the Jersey Devil. Mothman is going to be the most expensive out of those because it is the mascot of the game. Definitely the most desirable cryptid. I've seen those selling for as high as $900 to $1,000 right now, which is incredibly high. No, that was not a sample card. That was an actual first edition print run card, of which there is 872 of each of these. I don't know if I mentioned that, but that is a rough production number, 872 of each holographic card. So those are the first ones I want to mention. Those 6 seem to be definitely the most desirable. Also, the Q-Bird, I'm going to call it. It looks like Zapdos. I don't know how to pronounce its name. It is a super cool card. That is probably the one card I want the most that I don't have yet. It is also pretty desirable. And like there's some other ones that are pretty obvious that people really like. Bigfoot. I had one that I was thinking of. Now I forgot. Oh, Metal Man of Alabama is another pretty desirable card. And then there is another set of cards that I want to mention. Two other sets of cards actually that I have done videos on before this. The first one are going to be the Obnoxious 9. I did a video on these a couple days ago. They're going to be 9 cards that are only printed in holographic, not in reverse holographic, which limits them from that extra print run of 1,259 cards down to just the 872 cards. So there's roughly a third of them as the other holo cards on this list. Definitely go check out that video so you can learn about those cards. I'm not going to list them all off. And then the other 9 special cards I'd like to highlight are the ones I also did another video on, the Power 9. These are going to be all of the artifact cards, which allow you to generate mana in the game. The most desirable out of those, and probably the next best card to Mothman in the game, is the Chaos Crystal. It is the Black Lotus of Metazoo. I believe that card will be incredibly in demand going forward, and it is selling for, I believe, right around the $500 to $600 range at this point. So definitely a very desirable card. So next up, we are going to move into cards that are more desirable than the holographic cards. These are all going to be special cards. The first ones I'm going to mention are the Christmas and the Halloween promo packs. There was 500 of each pack made, and each pack contained 5 different cards. There are cards such as the Headless Horseman, Trick or Treat is a card. Those are from the Halloween pack. And then Christmas, you have Santa's Bag, you have the North Pole, you have Santa, you have the Abominable Snowman. So there's going to be 2,500 cards total because 5 cards times 500, but each pack was guaranteed to have each of the 5 cards. These have absolutely exploded. It's kind of an exclusive card that you couldn't get in on unless you were part of the very original Kickstarter and sort of knew about the products way back when. So they are very expensive. I'm not even going to give a price to these. I want to say it's right around almost $1,000. Definitely well over $500 for these sample packs and these cards. Very desirable. And they are very expensive. So then moving into our next product, which is the second to last product and by far the most expensive product on this list, it is going to be non-alternating booster boxes. I consider doing a separate video on this, but I'm just going to throw it into this video. So what is a non-alternating booster box? A lot of people have been asking about this. A non-alternating booster box, if I grab a booster box right here, is going to have a sticker on this bottom flap that says non-alternating. So why is this a big deal? Well, the reason is they were basically printed in error. What non-alternating means is all of the packs in the box aren't going to be mixed up. So it's going to be 9 Pizza Bird holos, 9 Hodag holos, like the pack art. So 9 Pizza Birds, 9 Hodags, 9 Babes, 9 Mothmans, all right in a row. The cards are not in any sort of prearranged order. You have the same odds of pulling any of the cards out of any of the other packs. It's just the pack artwork themselves are arranged. And so you're probably wondering, why is this a big deal? Why does it matter? Well, there was only 400 of these printed out of the total 2,500 booster boxes that were made in the Kickstarter run. So this is just going to be a further less supply of a sort of niche product that just has a different sticker on it, which is a little bit crazy when you consider that these boxes are selling for around double the price of a booster box after a month of release. These are right around $5,000, which absolutely blows my mind. You're paying $5,000 for a sticker and a different order of packs. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the non-alternating, if you think it's a buy at $5,000 versus $2,500 for a normal booster box. Personally, I would rather buy 2 regular booster boxes than I would 1 non-alternating box that has a sticker on it. Maybe you guys feel differently. Like I said, let me know. but that is a non-alternating booster box, which is our second product and the most expensive, like I said, right around that $5,000 range. And then the last product I want to talk about are sample cards. These are very easy to identify. They are going to have the black border around the outside instead of the red border, and there was only 100 of all of these printed. I'll leave a link down in the description where you can see a list of all these cards. It's really cool to go through that list actually, because there's a lot of cards that did not get produced in the first Cryptid Nation set that you can pretty easily assume will be coming in future sets, which is very cool. These are going to be cards like the Wendigo, which, like I mentioned before, was shared by the Tailgate podcast. Thanks, guys, for sharing that so I could show it in this video. But there is some other cool cards like that you don't see in the set that kind of give you a fun little sneak peek at what's to come. There's around like 94, I want to say, sample cards, and then 100 of each of them produced. The big ones here are going to be the big ones we talked about before. The Holy Grail of cards, I will go out and say, I personally believe will be the Mothman sample card. The regular Mothmans with the 872 production number are around 1,000. So then you consider that there's 1/8 the production of sample Mothman. It is the most desirable card in the set, I would say pretty easily. That card is going to very quickly become a $10,000 card if the game keeps growing the way it has, and if it takes off and shows some long-term viability. That's going to be the Holy Grail card. I think it would be very hard to even get your hands on one of those, with there only being 100 copies, and with the way the market's blown up, I can't imagine there's many people wanting to sell. I would put probably a rough value of around 3,000 on that card if you could find one. Not saying you couldn't get one cheaper or you might have to pay more. That's just a rough guess. Some other sample cards I think are going to be really hot are the ones, like I said, that haven't come out yet. So cards like Wendigo, which won't release for another 6 months to a year. If you could get those cards now when people find out about them and they find out that the only way they can get them is if they buy these sample cards, I definitely think some of those could take off. The other big one is going to be the Chaos Crystal. Like I said, that is sort of the Black Lotus of Metazoo, and a sample version of that with only 100 produced is another card that could absolutely go to the moon if the game sticks around for 5, 10, 20 years. So those are probably going to be your two biggest ones, the Mothman sample card and the Chaos Crystal sample card. But like I said, definitely check out the link in the description. A lot of cool sample cards that we haven't seen yet. If you guys have any other products that you think should have made the list that didn't make the list, I would love to hear about them. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something and got something out of it. Subscribe for more content about Metazoo or all different sorts of collectible card investing. And I will see you guys on the next video.